we haven't said it, the name of this film is Wild Man Blues.
That's right, Wild Man Blues.
And how did that project begin? It was someone else's idea and they brought you into it?
No, a guy from Chicago called me up who was a producer. I don't think he was a film producer. And he said, how would you like to go with Woody Allen on his jazz tour? And I said, I'd love to. And so I went and I met Woody and his sister, Letty Aronson. And I knew I didn't have much time with him. And we were talking about David Blaine, that we both knew, who's a magician, and talking about the weather. And then I just said to him, well, you know, if you bring me, I have to be able to film everything. You can't stop me from filming things. And he said, I understand. And then he said, you know what? He said, Barbara, I don't even want to go to these places. It's depressing, and I don't want to be on the road, and what if I get sick? And I just knew it was going to be one of the great films. When my friends said, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm going to go to Europe with Woody Allen and Sydney. They said, are you kidding me? And I said, no, I wouldn't miss it for anything. I'm going. And for me, it's about not judging your characters. I mean, celebrities are people too, and celebrities have stories. And if they open themselves up to you, they're like everybody else. They're just in the limelight all the time. And being able to film Woody and Suni I learned a lot from them. I mean, Suni was gracious and wonderful and always wanted to make sure we ate. And Woody was so nervous, he would only talk to me. Even if, you know, the whole film crew was standing around, they let us film anything we wanted to film, even his parents, which was a wonderful, wonderful scene. And then when we came back and we started editing it, Woody would call up all the time and say, okay, well, when can I come in and see it? And I'd say, come on, Woody, it's 5 hours long. And so he said, okay. And then he'd wait a couple of weeks and he'd call back. Now how long is it? I'd say 4 hours, and it went down like that. So finally he came in at 3 hours. And the editor and I, Larry Silk, were like so nervous, and we were on the 8th floor, and Woody doesn't like elevators, and so we had to try to get him up, and we did successfully. And he and Suni came in, and it was so beautiful to watch them because they held on to each other. And it was as if they were watching their romance come alive and come out of the, you know, the avid onto, you know, the floor. It was wonderful. It was beautiful. And then he stood up and he said, how are you going to cut this down? And I said, well, that's my problem. He said, yes, it is. And off he went.